Okay guys, I'm here today with Jared Welman, huge honor for me. Guys, for those who doesn't know him, Jared's one of the instructors here at my academy, the Bernardo Faria Academy in Bedford, Massachusetts. And he pretty much teaches like 70 or 80% of the fundamentals class here in the gym. And he's also a mobility instructor. So he has an instructional video with us at IBJJF. It's called the 30 Days Mobility, which he show you a mobility that you should use every day for 30 days. And Jared, I think I'm a perfect example of this because I have been doing a lot more stretching and mobility lately, to the point that now I'm almost like being able to touch my face on my knees.
Which has come a long way. This is so good.
And I was like, I had the worst stretch ever. So pretty much got inspired by you and Alvaro that you filmed it as well, Alvaro Romano, and since then like my stretch is much better. So
that's great. That's good news.
But anyways, what are you gonna share here with the audience today, about this instructional?
So this instructional is just a 30-day challenge. It's saying, hey, if you've never done mobility before, or you're tight, you're sore, you're stiff, and you want to get it back, this is going to give you about 5 minutes of work to do for 30 days. Each day I'll give you 2 or 3 exercises. Some days will be mobility where we're working a joint. Some days will be stretching. But if you can just commit 5 minutes a day for 30 days, you're going to feel so much better. You've built a new habit, and now you're going to see the potential of continuing to do it. So a good example, maybe some of you guys are used to your wrists, maybe from driving, from typing. They're getting tight. We're going to do a wrist mobility to kind of loosen up. So I'm going to come to hands and knees here. Now, most people could probably come to this position kind of like we're like a dog, like on all fours, right? What I'm going to try to do is turn one hand all the way around. If I can't get all the way around, I'm going to turn it as far as I can. I want to make sure to have strong shoulders. So when I'm here, the other arm can't bend. I'm going to have straight arms. And I want to do some small circles. I'm not trying to force anything. I'm not trying to go hard. I'm just loosening up like this. So in the instructional, I might say, maybe do this for 30 seconds on each side. I'm going one way and then back to the other. I come back to center. I screw myself in nice and tight to the mat. I turn one arm around. Look, I'm not bending anything. So now I'm working my whole wrist and the ability to go one way and the other. So if your wrists are tight, this might feel hard at first, but that's a good indication. If your wrists are tight and they should be looser, then we need to do this slowly and over time to get back to what normal movement is. So that's a good starting point for the wrists.
Yeah, there you go.
You want to try this?
Yeah.
Especially if you do any sport with gripping like jiu-jitsu, your hands are going to feel it. So if I'm here, I don't want to be like this. I want to think of screwing my hands into the mat and my arms are straight right over the wrist. I'm going to pick up one side, keeping this tight, and I'm just going to turn like this as much as you can. You can already feel it's hard, right? Yeah. And now let's say we do 3 small circles pushing down into the mat, nice and slow. That's 2 and 3. And then you're going to come back the other way. And you can feel the hand wants to compensate. We want to try to relax and get as much mileage as we can. Now if you switch to the other side, same thing. Grip, yeah, turn, nice, relax. And one shoulder might be tougher than the other. This might be hard. You can feel,
this wrist is a bit up, so this
100%.
is a good exercise.
If you've been wrist locked in jiu-jitsu, this is...
I think everybody can probably even hear, like...
Yeah, yeah. So the hard part for any mobility instructor is recognizing how a human should move, and then all the damage that we do, whether it's from jiu-jitsu or weightlifting or skiing or running or even just regular life. If our joints slow down and stop moving, that's always going to be bad as we get older and older. So the goal is to move as well as you can.
Good. Oh, Jared, a few questions for you. So 5 minutes per day, I got it. And I did myself and works really well. Like my stretching, as you guys can see, like, I was only able to come like here.
This is now. Improvement. Yeah, and I would say, so an average human should probably be able to just
touch like my mouth
touch your toes and almost get down here. This is like, yes, this is what we want. If you get better and you can come down here, this is fantastic, but we don't need to go crazy, just touching your toes. But if you find yourself here, this means my hamstrings, my back, my shoulders are tight, which is going to affect how I move in life.
Yeah, I fully agree. So 5 minutes per day, but what time would you suggest for them to do it? Like in the morning, lunchtime, at night, after training, before training?
What's
like
all of that. So it doesn't matter. It's different than weight training, right? If you do weight training and then you go and do your exercise like jiu-jitsu, or if you're running, whatever, you're gonna be tired. But mobility you can do before or after or both. You you can't overdo it. There's a point where it's going to be diminishing returns, but if you wake up in the morning, you're tight, you can do 5 minutes there. If it's at night before you go to bed, do 5 minutes there or both.
Okay, no, that makes sense. And Jared, I read an article the other day that was very interesting, which was also one of the motivations for me to start doing more mobility and stretching. And the article analyzed a lot of people that reached 100 years old and what they had in common. And the things that they had in common was like, they were skinny, they were flexible,
Good.
They kept working on something, and they didn't smoke. But the point is like, they were skinny and flexible. So you see like how important it is to take care of the body, you know? Like, and so I think like for longevity, for aging, nowadays I'm 38 years old, just turning in January, so almost reaching 40. I think those things are key.
It's true. I mean, how you take care of your body is going to keep it in the best shape as possible, right? If you have a car and you load it up with tons of weight and drive it around, the gas mileage goes down. If you go off-roading with it, you're breaking the tires and the suspension, etc. The same with our body. If we can stay lean by eating healthy foods, we hydrate, drink water frequently, we get lots of rest, we're active, doing some kind of exercise, strength and conditioning, etc. But we also need a little bit of this taking care of our body, right? So if we're smashing ourselves with jiu-jitsu and we have tight shoulders, tight neck, tight hips, and do nothing about it, it's not going to get better on its own. Can we do one more? Can I show you something?
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's do this. Let's imagine we're sitting. Most people could probably sit back here on your ankles. If you can't, you could put a rolled towel underneath your ankles or underneath your knees if they need to be a little higher. But if most people can come here, and if you're doing jiu-jitsu, you probably can. We're basically going to keep our butt and heels together. But look, I'm going to walk down as far as I can and get really low here. Okay. And I'm going to try to keep my elbows off the mat if I can. If I have to drop down, it's good, but I'm spreading my hands, pushing my hips back. So you might hang out here for 2 or 3 seconds. But now we're going to go to a squat. I'm going to untuck my feet to about shoulder width. I'm going to walk myself back. Now, as I go to a squat, the goal is to get my heels to the mat, my arms on the inside, and this is a deep squat with my head up. So if you can come here, great. If you're here like this, maybe I'm on my toes, I can't get the heels down. I want you to keep your hands on the mat, but lift your head up and your chest up. Yeah, so we're trying. It's hard, right?
It's hard.
It's super hard. I mean, at some point you'll come up here and be strong, but we're just looking at being like this for now. Let's do a couple repetitions of this. So we come back down to our knees. So this is child's pose if you're familiar with yoga, but I'm making sure that I don't do this. I don't want to lift. I make sure as I walk out, I'm pushing weight back into my heels. So look how I'm walking out, almost pushing the mat away. I get as low as I can, I drop my head, and I'm going to just relax for a couple seconds. Now I'm going to push myself back. I untuck my feet to shoulder width. And as I go here, I'm driving my heels down, my head and chest up, and trying to sit as close as I can, or if I can go into a deep squat here, awesome. I don't want to relax. Yes, it's hard. So you'll find it's a hard point. A lot of people, if you can stay there, a lot of people to come from a squat, to come down into a deep squat, this is hard work. We find that our ankles, our shoulders, etc. are going to be really tight. So you can come back down. But if we do this movement where, hey, I'm leaning forward here, I'm coming back to the squat. This might be one of the exercises in the instructional where for 5 minutes, I'm going to explain 3 things. This is one of the movements that you do for a minute or 2. So those 3 things for that 5 minutes, that's your day. Next day, there'll be 3 new moves, and et cetera, et cetera. By the end of the month, you'll have really gone through everything from shoulders to hips to knees to your neck. So you'll feel a lot better if you can stay consistent.
Oh, Jared, would you mind sharing how old are you?
I'm 48.
Guys, he's 48 years old. He's one of the most flexible people I know. And he said that he wasn't like that. Like was practicing mobility and stretching and this and that. And I think like nowadays, with the life gets like crazy and rush for many people, and many people they do remember to take care of family, they do remember of take care of finance, and many times they forget to take care of the body. But if this one fails,
then everything else is gone.
There's no way to take care of family, there's no way to take care of finance, there's no way. So I think like nowadays, like when I'm doing stretching or when I'm working out, I always think about that, because sometimes you get lazy and we don't want to work out or we don't want to stretch. But then I think like, wait a second, this is the one piece of the domino here that cannot fall. You know, like, so, and then I put myself there and then I work out. So
if you don't have your health, you don't have anything,
you know,
right?
Yeah. So anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure to check that out. It's called the 30 Days Mobility by Jared Welman, and he's an amazing instructor. He teaches here at the Academy. I think you guys saw how knowledgeable he is. Black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, black belt in mobility. So if you want to learn more about mobility and stretching, I think you have a routine that you can follow, and Jared's going to be the guy to guide you. Thank you, Jared.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. And to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTubeFaria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.